You're listening to the BBC Introducing in Oxford Christmas show, and it's about to get even Christmassier, if that is a word, because it's a bit of a Christmas tradition now. It's not Christmas until Out of the Blue have released a festive cover. I have Deon, former president of Out of the Blue, which sounds like a very grand title, in the studio with me now. Hello, Deon.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. For anyone that might be not initiated with this, why don't you quickly sum up who Out of the Blue are?
Out of the Blue, we're all students at Oxford University and a few at Oxford Brookes. We all sing and sometimes dance, questionably. And we kind of create music, we gig, and we raise money for Helen Douglas House, which is a children's hospice local to Oxford. And we do all of that while we study, kind of,
Yeah.
during the term and outside of it as well.
Does it take up a lot of your time? I suppose a lot of students have extracurricular activities, but I mean, it's kind of all-encompassing. Yeah,
I think time-wise, it's not much more than any serious sport or, any dedicated activity.
So you could be rowing.
Yeah, and we have some members who do or used to. Yeah. But I think it's more the sort of emotional thing. Like, we're very invested in it, and it's kind of a family unit as well. So we spend all of our time together, especially every tour. It's 24/7 for a few weeks. And then we see each other at least every other day, if not every day, during term as well. So it's very full on in that sense.
How many members?
There's 13 of us this year.
Okay, so it can ebb and flow then. It can be more or less?
Yes, absolutely. So we audition every academic year.
Mm-hmm. What are you looking for in the auditions? And is there anything like Pitch Perfect and all those kind of movies? Because you've got a boy band thing going on. So are you looking for looks as well as talent?
I think we look for, first, obviously, we look for singing, and that's really important because it's all voices out there. So if we don't have a solid group singing, then it's a bit dodge. And then we also look for performance, I think. So much more so than a serious choir or something. I think it's pretty important to look for people who have that sort of charisma, that sort of personality in performance. And then also we try and construct a family out of it. So we have quite an important part of the auditions process is a chat that we have with the incoming member and the committee, and we kind of discuss what people are getting into, what the commitment is like, and what sort of social bonds we expect to create together. So it's kind of a whole package thing. It's not just one thing that we measure.
And it's a family that's constantly revolving because obviously people come to uni and then go from uni. So that must be kind of a juggling act as well. You've been doing it 2 years or so?
Yeah, this is my third year in the group. I joined in 2014 and I took 1 year out in my third year at university. And yeah, I've seen people come and go. And actually that's quite bizarre for people now in the group to look back and say, oh, that was a previous era, this legendary era.
Is that how they talk about it? Is it like, because are you are you in the band forever?
Yes, so we have a really strong alumni thing going on as well, alumni community, and we have a big like reunion event every 5 years in Oxford, and we also have yearly things for alumni. We just had one in a pub in London during our UK tour, and that's really, really nice because it's like a support system as well, where we are friends, but we also sort of network a little bit. We get advice from people who are more senior than us, who might be in the types of careers that we might want to have. Some people go into performance. Some people are on in a cappella in the real world, which is pretty weird. It's cool. It's such a support network.
So I remember a previous version of the group being on Britain's Got Talent.
Yes.
On this year's X Factor, Jack and Joel, I was sure I recognised them. So they were in Out of Blue.
Yes.
They can't have left that long ago.
Well, not that long ago. I mean, they were there last year was my first year. So we spent a year together. It doesn't feel, well, humor me. I like to pretend that wasn't that long ago.
What's it like watching them on the telly?
It's incredible. I'm so proud of them. And it's entirely unsurprising how well they've done. They're so talented and hardworking. And, I'm so glad that they finally sort of hit their dream of doing it for a living.
Now, the song you've chosen this year is Merry Christmas, Everybody by Slade. Why decide on this one? You've done quite a few classics in the past.
Yeah.
Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, was that Sleigh Ride?
Rocking Around Christmas Tree was actually mixed into this year's song. So
that's why I'm thinking of it. Yeah, you do kind of a medley.
Yeah, a little bit.
What's it like arranging something like that?
Well, I don't do the arranging, but as I gather, it's quite an opportunity, I think, to create something, number one, that is heard by quite a few people. I think that's quite a cool opportunity for a budding musician. And it's also a way of introducing the new group to our audiences, our fans, especially at Christmas time when it's a new group after auditions rather. And I think it's always a really fun process picking a song.
Is it kind of heated? You know, when everyone must have an idea, and everyone's got their own favourite Christmas song. We
have a musical director who gets to make the final call. So it's not as heated as it could be, I think, if it were open to discussion. You know, just like a vote or something. But we do tend to take a lot into account. I think with Slade in particular, it's just such a classic. It's such a British classic, and the 70s element was really fun. We thought we could translate that, and we did. In the music video that accompanies it, we went to Plush, which is a club in Oxford, and we got dressed up in the 70s garb, and had this disco ball and the light up floor, and did some boogieing.
Yeah. And you were larking about Oxford by the Radcliffe Camera, by one of the colleges as well.
Yeah.
You always try and make it as Oxford as possible.
Yes, exactly. I think a lot of our fans are really interested in that element as well, that we get to, and it's such an opportunity. We live in Oxford. How incredible is that? And we have access to those gorgeous places that people spend a lot of effort to come and visit, and we just have it in our backyard while we walk around it to go to the library or whatever. And yeah, so we filmed a good chunk of it in my college, Exeter College. We did a bit in New College Cloisters. We did some on the Bodleian Steps.
But so, last time I checked, 60,000 views and counting, but I'm sure it's going to get a lot more than that. The Mariah Carey cover got more than 1 million.
Yeah, I think that got 3 million, possibly.
Shakira one went crazy. She even tweeted about it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what's your part in the band? Does it have a name in terms of the kind of the how you facilitate the entire sort of harmony?
Yeah, I'm a bass.
Right.
Yeah, we have tenor 1, tenor 2, baritone and bass loosely, but...
Who does the really, really, really high note? And was there any trickery, or was that the real thing?
I think he was just born with it. No, his name is Rory. Okay. He's actually a fresher. He studies medicine, and he just went for it. I was there, actually, in the studio, and he did it, and it was incredible. So
you're the last member of the group in Oxford. Has everyone gone home for Christmas? Is that why we've got you, Deon?
Yes.
Yeah? You're staying in Oxford, yeah? Thanks.
Yeah, no, I'm staying here for the vacation.
Yeah. It's a beautiful at Christmas time.
It is. It's gorgeous. I hadn't stayed over Christmas, the actual Christmas period before.
Yeah.
It's so lovely. And the Christmas market is here. It's just so nice.
Well, Merry Christmas, Deon.
Merry Christmas to you too.
So here it is, and remember, it's all for charity, so we're not going to play the whole song on the podcast, so go out and buy it. It's for a good cause.
Please do.
And here it is, Merry Christmas, everybody, by Out of the Blue. So everybody.